Hi, welcome to another video. My name is Hockett, and today we're going to be playing around with some alcohol inks. I've got a very cool little glass terrarium thing that I got from, I think it was Michael's, and I've also got some crushed seashells, which are pretty neat, and some candles. And what I'm going to be doing today is using these alcohol inks to decorate the glass and just kind of make a cool candle holder. I mainly wanted to use it to actually test out how well alcohol inks work on glass, because I've seen a lot of other videos where people decorate glass objects with alcohol inks, and it usually looks pretty cool, so that's what I wanted to test out today. The alcohol inks I'm going to be using today are made by Pinata Color. They work pretty well, but I wouldn't advise using the purple in their color palette, because it seems to turn a weird brownish orange color sometimes, but the rest of the colors seem to work pretty well. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get your work surface prepared. I've put down some paper towels, I've gotten a cup of water, also some denatured alcohol, and some paintbrushes, alcohol inks, my little glass object, and also a palette in case I want to mix up some colors. And pretty much that's all you need as far as I know. So I'm going to go ahead and get started painting this weird thing. I was actually going to use this originally to make a little terrarium, but then I got the idea about the alcohol inks, and I just really wanted to do something with alcohol inks for this, so that's what we're going to do. So I think the first colors I'm going to try to work with are going to be the yellow, because I kind of want to do a gradient from yellow around the bottom up to sort of a teal color and into blue at the top. And then afterwards I'm going to paint some little gold stars on the outside of the glass. And then we'll put the crushed seashells in the base, and then that's where we can put our little candle. I'm going to start by brushing some of this alcohol just onto the glass so that we can kind of have a nice watercolor surface sort of. I don't know if this is actually going to work, but you know, I think it's worth a shot. Let's get some of our yellow. Can kind of brush it onto there. Wow, it's very potent. Let's bring some more of that alcohol in. Maybe dab it. Big drips. Don't know if it's working quite the way I was envisioning it, but that's okay, you know. It doesn't have to. Also, I'm sorry about the fan in the background. It's about 1,000,000 degrees in the garage, so I kind of had to turn it on if I didn't want to roast out here. I'm really not sure about how strong the green is going to be. I think it's going to be pretty strong. Whoa, look at that! Oh, okay. I like the green. Oh, wow. Do little spots, little splashes. That's cool. And it's kind of all wanting to roll down because this side is at an angle, which is a little unfortunate, but you know, we do what we can, you know? Let's do some blue over here. This is looking interesting so far. Oh no! Got dye on my nice table, and that's why we have the paper towels down, but it still got on my table. Alcohol really helped get that off quite easily though, so that's nice. Alright. Let's get some blue up here. Ooh. I'm gonna kind of tilt it. Oh my gosh, it was seeping out the bottom. Oh wow. I'm a little tempted to just actually do big drips of alcohol inks on this, because it's kinda... what's the word? It's not looking crazy. You know what I mean? Interesting. So let's just do it. They're just big drops. It's all just like escaping, you know? It doesn't want to stick around. What if we did this? And kind of just wang jangled it all over. Whoa! That's looking pretty sick. Alright, how do we get it to stop moving though? It smells like, ooh, it smells like a bar. It smells very alcohol-y. Just wanted more blue, you know? Ooh, yeah, that's cool. That's cool! I like it. We'll put a little bit more. Oh, that's cool. Whoa. Whoa. Oh my gosh, can you see that in the camera? That is so cool looking. All right, so I really want this to just dry. I'm gonna go hold this in front of the fan and see if I can get it to dry quickly. It's not drying, but it is changing, I suppose. Would be the right word. Kind of want to add more dye to it. Ooh, this is really coming together, I think. That looks pretty sick, not gonna lie. I'm just gonna take the lids off of all of these so that I'm like ready and prepared to actually do the ink. Can you see it? Look at that. Wow. This side's done, so let's start doing the other sides. And I'm not too concerned about ink getting on the outside of this because I'm just gonna be wiping it down with alcohol anyway to clean it off. But yeah, let's just go ham on this part. Yo, put a bunch of blue there. And we'll put some green. And we'll put our yellow at the bottom. See how that looks. I just want it to spread out, you know? Really look cool. I think it is still leaning a little bit. Because it seems to really want to go in that one direction. Wow, it moves fast. I'm gonna add more yellow down here. Whoa, that did weird stuff. I don't know how I'm gonna make this one get dry because it's on a really weird angle. Oh, I wanna add more blue. More blue. More blue up here. And then we can add more of the alcohol up there just to, you know, water it down just a little bit. Just for fun. So I just remembered that like a lot of ways that people will dry the alcohol inks is by like using fire on it. And I don't want to accidentally crack any of this glass trying to use fire to dry it, so that's why I'm just using a fan. But we're getting some really, really weird, interesting effects using just the fan. And I don't think there's enough color on this panel, so I am gonna add a little bit more. Add some blue, add some yellow down here. I'll add one more green, why not? Add some more of this alcohol inks, or alcohol, just straight alcohol basically. We already add the alcohol ink. Just to kind of get it moving, you know? Hi, so while the glass thing is drying over there, I just want to give a quick reminder to wear gloves if you're going to do this, because I didn't, and this is what my hands look like right now. And like, they aren't as bad as they could be, you know, they could definitely be worse, but my hands are probably going to be dyed for the next couple days. So if you don't want your hands to be dyed a color, remember to wear gloves. Whoa. That's already looking so cool. Wow, I'm gonna have to do a lot of cleanup on the outside, but I'm pretty pleased with how it's looking so far. It's pretty colorful, splotchy, very like crazy looking. I'm liking it. All right, so let's do the final part of the final panel, I guess. I'm gonna put a little bit of alcohol, just brush it along the surface, because I kind of liked how that affected it the first time around. I don't know if you can see with the little camera, I'm just brushing it along the surface. I'll try to do it at a good angle so you guys can actually see, since I know this one's a little bit in there, you know. So first I'm gonna do some blue up in the top there, and then we're gonna do some green in this middle. I think we're only gonna do 3 green. Green seems to really spread a lot. And we're gonna do a lot of yellow because yellow seems to get the most washed out. Now we're gonna start taking our alcohol, just kind of brushing it along, seeing what kind of weird interactions we can get. It's very watercolor looking. I've never worked in watercolors, but if I had, I would imagine it's something like this. Now I'm gonna take this over to the fan again and try and dry it quickly. I would say that looks pretty good to me. Look at that. Whoa, actually here, I'll show with the light behind it. Whoa, that's so cool. Ah, that looks sick. Looking at the light coming through on the inside, you can see all these weird textures and stuff with the way the ink dried and such. It's not like a perfectly smooth surface. And of course my hand is has a lot of color on it too. But anyways, let's get on to cleaning up the outside and adding on the little gold stars, because I think that's really gonna add another dimension to this. So first, before we do anything, I'm gonna clean up our workstation. Gonna move these dies out of the way because you don't want to add more dies in when you're trying to remove dies, you know. And the worst thing to happen right now would be to be spilling a bunch of dye everywhere. So let's try and be careful with that. Move our paint brushes because we don't need them right now. Move the water too because we also don't need that right now. We just need this and a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. I'm gonna splash a little bit of that on a piece of paper towel. And we're just gonna find the spots where the ink kind of got everywhere and just wipe it off. Because half the reason I got this was because it had this beautiful gold edge to everything, and I want that to be preserved. I want that in the final thing. I like it. I like it being like that. Some of these spots are really, oh my gosh, look at that. Got like a lot of dye on them. My goal was not to get dye all over the outside of this. Kind of feel like I should have like sealed up the edges or something before I put the dye in. Too late for that now though. Oh my gosh. A lot of dye got out of this. Look at that. Look at that. That's a ton of dye. I didn't think it was going to be this messy at all. But it's not a big deal because we can just clean it up. Get every little spot that you can see any dye. Especially on these bottom panels of glass, because that's where the seashells are going to show through and you don't want any dye on that part. So it just isn't going to look as nice, you know? That's what we're going for here. Classy. Maybe not classy. Also, whatever you do, do not get the alcohol on the panels that you've painted, like on the inside, because it will destroy those. Because those are all still alcohol soluble, and if you add alcohol to them, they will go right back into being liquid dye, or at least something similar to liquid dye. I don't think it'll be as good as what it started out as, but it'll ruin your design, and you don't want that, you know? I think that's probably good enough though. That looks pretty clean to me. Alright, so here we have our nice and cleaned up thing. What is this? I don't know what this is. Do you know what this is? Tell me if you know what this is, besides glass object. That looks pretty good though. So now, as a little final touch, I'm going to paint a couple little gold stars on the outside of the glass area. And I think that's really going to bring this together. I'm using some of this artisan gold paint. You can see it right here for the stars. And a very tiny brush.
Very tiny.
And usually I like to add pigment to my gold paint to make it even, like that, just that much more dense. But I think this time I'll just leave it. I've changed my mind. I'm adding pigment to this paint because it is not dense enough. Gold mica powder. I can never get enough of you. Now that we've got some much denser paint, these should look a lot better. And as you can see here, I'm just adding some cute little stars, just for fun, just cause. Probably could have done this a lot easier with star stickers. So if you're wanting to do the same art project, maybe just get some little gold star stickers. I think they'd probably look just as nice, if not nicer, because they have nice sharp edges, you know? We've got our alcohol inks on the inside, we've got our little gold stars on the outside, everything's all nice and cleaned up. I'll show you guys up close here. Wow, look at that. Oh, it's so cool. Definitely kind of wish I had used just stickers for the stars on the outside, but honestly, it doesn't look too bad. Alright, so now the only thing left to do is to add the little crushed seashells, our candles, and then to light it up and see how it looks. I moved a couple of things out of the way because I really did not want to knock anything over while I was doing this part. So this part's pretty easy. Also, I did just get these crushed seashell bits from Michael's, I think. And they literally are just pieces of seashell. They're really pretty. Some of them have little rainbowy bits on them. They just look really nice, and I thought that they would go really well with this project. I'm just gonna pour however much I need, I guess. I'm not quite sure if I want to have it hanging because it's going to be pretty heavy with all the shells. That's looking cool though. Wow, we used a lot of shells. But that looks really neat. Yeah, I like that. I think I'll just have this sitting on my desk or something because it does weigh. These shells are not lightweight, they're pretty heavy, and this, having so many shells, is also not lightweight. And then I have some just little tea lights here, some little tea candles. These ones are fall scented, whatever that means. Let's get them out. Yeah, it smells pretty good. It smells kind of like soap. I'm just gonna put it in the middle there, kind of surround it with some seashells. Just so it doesn't go anywhere, you know. Yeah, there you go. I know this was kind of a bit of a simpler craft type of thing, but it just sounded like a lot of fun, and I kind of wanted to make some videos that were also a little bit more like simple crafts too, not just the big complicated things that require a 3D printer or require a whole lot of paint and a lot of space. Yeah, there you go. And before I show you the really cool, like nice close-up shots, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. I've got a link to my private Discord in the description. We've got suggestion channels there, so if you have any ideas for art projects, games, or anything else you want to see me make, feel free to share there. Let me know what you think in the comments. What you think of this art project. If you make it, please send me a picture because that would be so cool. You can send it to me on Twitter, on my Discord, either of those places work. And if you have any ideas of what I should use the rest of these crushed up seashells for, let me know too, because I don't know what to do with them, but they're really cool, and I think that they would, yeah, they could be something interesting, so let me know what you think. And with that, here are the nice glamour shots of the little candle holder project.